All right, another JD Vance campaign event going horribly wrong, leaving him in the parking lot of a restaurant, shaking hands with people. Oh, why does it keep happening to them? Mediaite reports JD Vance forced to greet supporters in a parking lot after restaurant denies him entry. Now, there is follow-up to this. He was initially denied entry for the campaign event. Okay, JD Vance was forced to address supporters in a parking lot after a Pennsylvania restaurant denied entry to him because they didn't want to host a campaign event. According to NBC News, supporters of Vance showed up early to Primanti Brothers in North Versailles, Pennsylvania to greet Vance. However, employees with the restaurant told reporters cameras would not be allowed in and they did not want to host the event. So here's some video of what happened. People are furious, everybody's mad, and then it will cut to JD outside the restaurant, I guess, talking to people.
It's a riot. The manager went outside, told them they need to leave. They will call the police if he comes south. Unfortunately, he cannot come in. So what's going to happen is that they're going to take down our name, all our information, so the next time the kitchen crew's running out because everyone's canceling their orders. Everyone just canceled all the orders, and we're just paying for what we drink, and then everyone's leaving. But yes, unfortunately, Vance cannot come out of his car, cannot shake our hands, because Primanti Brothers does not want him in here whatsoever.
Now, it turned out that the problem wasn't they don't want him here whatsoever. It's that they didn't plan this. And all of a sudden, security, Secret Service, you're a restaurant trying to do business operating on thin margins. It's a complete lack of respect. Let's watch the end of this video, then we'll talk more.
So that is what's happening.
That we leave.
Yep.
We are now banned from Primanti Brothers.
Yep. Terrible. So there's the VP. This is as close as we're going to get to him.
They will call.
By the way, calling him the VP, it's the same thing they do with Trump. He's a senator, okay? He wants to be vice president. The VP.
Absolutely.
We paid for everybody's food. We
So here's Vance talking outside.
gave him a nice tip. And of course, when I gave him a nice tip, I said, no taxes on tip. So, it's all right. Don't hold it against her. She just got a little nervous, but it's a great local business. Let's keep on supporting it. And most importantly, November 5th or before, go vote. Let's go win this thing.
All right, so there's JD Vance, and he's behaving in a reasonable way. This is his campaign, you know. They didn't schedule it. They didn't plan it. They didn't go and actually set this up appropriately. And Primanti Brothers put out a statement where they said, Primanti's prides itself on being a staple of the Pittsburgh community and a proud American business that has hosted sitting presidents, politicians, and political candidates across the spectrum for more than 90 years. Our doors are open to all patrons who wish to dine with us without any advance notice. Today's campaign stop caused some momentary confusion for our staff. However, Senator Vance, by the way, they don't refer to him as the VP. Senator Vance and his team were welcomed into our restaurant shortly after, engaged with guests inside and on the property. Senator Vance's supportive comments that our manager got a little nervous given the Secret Service, police, and crowd accurately reflect the nature of what occurred, and we are glad that it was resolved quickly. This is a campaign thing. This goes to the continued total incompetence. And hilariously, you know, it all turns sort of into a political thing. It is true that Harris Walls stopped at Primanti's. I actually have video of it. It is not, as you can see, because of political bias that Harris Walls were allowed in and JD wasn't. JD ultimately was allowed in. It's because they did the advance work with Harris Walls and JD Vance just showed up. But that didn't stop the Harris campaign from immediately trolling the Trump Vance campaign with video of their welcome at Primanti Brothers.
85 years between the three of us teaching. 85 years.
All right, so it's Kamala Harris, etc., shaking hands. People are clapping. People are loving it. Obviously, when you know that Harris is going, Harris supporters will go and wait there. If you know that Vance is going or Trump, then their supporters will go and wait there. That's not what this is about. It's just a small group of people. It's the continued utter and abject incompetence of this campaign, again creating another embarrassing situation. With elections right around the corner and MAGA willing to do anything to secure his win, I can't recommend enough using Ground News to stay up to date on debates and other issues that right-wing outlets will try to skew or ignore. Our longtime sponsor, Ground News, adds clarity to every news story by putting together a multitude of sources in one place, and you can compare coverage and decide for yourself. Like this story, the DNC is suing the Georgia Election Board over Republican-supported rules that allow local election boards to question and withhold election certification, potentially causing chaos after Election Day. The summary of this story on Ground News is based on every article Ground News found reporting on it, and with a simple scroll, you can see how different outlets across the political spectrum are framing the story. Voter suppression is real, and in this case, the perpetrators are elected officials who can be voted out, but only if the public understands the story from every angle, and that's where Ground News comes in. Go to ground.news/Pacman or scan my QR code for 40% off the Vantage plan that I use for unlimited access to all their features. The link is in the description.